interesting question. Obviously, given our demographics, given our per capita incomes, the investment outlook for growth, particularly for India, is very, very good. I think for people who have large time horizons to invest and disposable income, globally as well as domestically, I think this is amongst the best places to invest. We've got freedom in terms of democracy. We've got the law of the land which plays out. We've also got very interesting opportunities and a very enterprising culture. We've just embarked upon a journey as an economy where we will be a long runway of growth as well as opportunities that will happen. So, and obviously every stakeholder is going to benefit as long as they meaningfully participate in that journey. Well, in terms of if you just compare the per capita income globally, we are at around $2,200 per capita. The advanced economies are in excess of 40,000, some $60,000 per capita. We have middle income countries which are $10,000 to $20,000 per capita. Now, so there is a long way to go. I would say, even at the current size, demographics and population, I would say, something like economy which could potentially be 2 or 3 times in the next 10 years. There are very few spaces and opportunities of this nature that will be available globally. And in any case, the demographics are of great advantage. It's a very young country. We have almost half the population below 30 years. So the kind of demand landscape and consumer behavior that will transcend going ahead is going to be a very attractive zone, very interesting zone for businesses as well as other stakeholders as we see. I see 4 major factors driving the capex story for the next decade, maybe more. Number one is government itself. The government has in the last 20 years meaningfully invested into infrastructure. Reforms have debottlenecked it. The economy needed it to be able to propel itself into a higher trajectory of growth. And the government continues to invest in a large way into the public infrastructure creation. It used to be maybe highways and rail in the past. It could be metros and expressways going ahead. It could be water. It could be other things. Now that is number one driver of capex and growth going ahead. Along with that, we now have a situation where private sector has also joined, which is more green compliant. I would say it includes mobility. It includes discrete and manufacturing and continuous manufacturing. It also includes power generation and things like those, besides a host of other sectors. So I believe between the government, between the private, between the green, these are the 3 major pillars. And the 4th pillar that really matters is the housing pillar. I think the residential housing demand by itself could be a very strong momentum and runway, which is by far the largest formal job creator in the country, as well as a driver of demand for basic materials like building materials, cement, steel, mortgage, and the likes. So these are the 4 pillars I believe will drive capex story going ahead, at least for a decade, maybe more. So the new tech obviously is the driver. Innovation is a driver of a lot of new enterprise business opportunities, and humanity has progressed due to innovation. So there's no doubt about it that it will continue. But then I think at times it happens that a lot of attention gets focused, be it investor attention or be it the market attention towards that. But I think we should not undermine or miss out the underlying brick and mortar manufacturing traditional businesses also reviving or participating in a meaningful way for the economic upliftment and income generation and job generation for the society or the economy. So that I think is something which at this juncture is being underappreciated. I think the outlook for these businesses, traditional businesses, is going to be overwhelmingly strong, and they could be a delta provider to the overall growth that the world is seeing, and India in particular. So very interesting question for me. Frankly, every time we see market cycles, the stimulus for markets to go down in particular are new, novel, rare, 6 Sigma, 9 Sigma events. But then We've seen things like Lehman in the past. We've seen the tech bubble. We've seen even Asian tiger crisis. And if we go back in history, we've seen things like the 87 Black Monday thing, and all the way back to 1929. But then, if you read the literature around, if you were around on most of those days, you would see that a lot of it was voiced as something which is new, novel, rare, could not have been thought and modeled about. But then Corona is also similar. It is humanitarian in nature. So we've never seen a non-financial crisis kind of playing out in the market in a meaningful way. So at least in the last 50, 70 years. Corona in that way was unique. We obviously had more to bother and fear about on a personal level, on a society level, on an economy level, and clearly this was one of those crises where the economic issues took a backseat compared to humanitarian issues. Now, this is unique for a crisis that we've seen in the last 50, 70 years. I began my professional journey as an engineer. And I worked in the shop floor in a German engineering firm and all that. Then I did my MBA and joined financial services. It's a path a lot of people have taken in India, but nevertheless, what is unique about it is amongst the few people in my generation who've actually worked in manufacturing and part of services. That's fun, but then what would I be if not somebody where I am? Well, it's a very passionate thing for me. For me, markets and investing is very close to heart. I'm very passionate about it. So anything else is a far distant second. But if I have to place something there, it would be, I would love to travel. I'm a history buff, and maybe I would like to teach. These are some things, which make me feel I get closer to the society. Maybe I would like to contribute to the society in some social way, make a positive impact. Something of that sort would be of keen interest